we've been occupying since the 25th of June. There's been no clarification, no interaction from the company whatsoever around wages to be paid, holidays owed. There's been emails sent out about redundancy, but now they're trying to push the WRC cases back, so it seems to be just all a delaying tactic. They're picking and choosing who they're sending the emails to. We have a group chat that we hear about through that, and they're saying to reply to the email, they're giving deadlines to reply. But apparently now the emails are bouncing back from those email addresses. You'd question how reliable what they're saying is, which is no surprise because from the day one they're very unreliable anyway. The girls came into work on the Wednesday and they got a phone call 20 minutes later to say their job tomorrow. Temporary laid off, which obviously in turn they're gone more so. There was no prior warning about this happening. When Coolock closed, the girls in here kind of had an idea that Talbot Street would be next. So then the girls in Coolock occupied and then we followed suit. And we obviously occupied them from the Monday. One or two of the girls came in and we spoke to them. They actually came to the door with us as well. So it was good to kind of talk to each other and find out like how each other was feeling, and but like that they were made false promises that were never followed through with either in Coolock. So they've closed, I think it's 15, maybe 16 to date. So through the chat obviously we'd find out that they're closed, or through the union or wherever it may be. And we've had kind of interaction with them and stuff like, and we'd obviously all kind of send a message of support to each other and solidarity, like but any of them will stay open. It'd be interesting to see.
We've been here since the very beginning, since Coolock, supporting the girls. It's a very important struggle. We need a positive outcome for the girls. They put in so much effort. They've really stepped up to the plate. They're trying to protect their rights and the rights of lots of other workers, and I think it's really important that people get behind them. We've allowed them to lead. We've followed and supported them in whatever action they wanted to take. That's the way it's going to be until such time as the girls get the resolution that they're happy with, and that they get all that they have fought for and what they deserve. They decide when the occupation will be over, not us.
When the company took over at the start, they kind of like were making work harder as time went on, turning off the air conditioning, making us work in 38-degree heat, using Big Brother tactics like watching everything on camera, saying that was being reported that people are sitting around, well, no such thing. So when Coolock went on strike originally, because obviously people weren't getting wages, they were getting some wages, half of what they were owed. As time went on, it got worse. It was unbearable coming to work. It wasn't a nice place to be compared to the atmosphere we had before. How we were talking about it, and we were like, because obviously there were strikes at the start before the company closed, and we didn't strike. But then obviously when we seen the other stores and stuff like that, then obviously we decided to occupy. But I think it's well and good and it's making a stance and standing your ground and all. But like it's appalling to see that like the company, the owner, has reached out. Because like if someone was in your shop or wherever it may be, you'd want to know what was going on, or you'd reach out, if you had a backbone, you'd reach out to see how you could help, or how could you resolve, or come to some sort of, discussions. But absolutely not.
And again, it's important for all the workers out there to get behind them, because, listen, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And as we said, with the Debenhams, we were told it would never happen again, and here we are. Not that long ago, the Debenhams girls were out for over 406 days, so we don't want to see this for the Iceland girls. But I mean, listen, they're strong. And they want a positive resolution, and I think if we get behind them and stand in solidarity with them, we will get that.
When we occupied at the start, and when we had our first rally, the Debenhams workers came up and they were telling us obviously how their occupation and strike went, and they were saying that they support us all the way, and they're in contact on and off, like see how we're getting on and stuff like that. So it's good. It's always good to like have someone that has done it previously, but likewise, like they're still still waiting, isn't it? And you think by now, like that with what went on there, like this would have been prevented from happening again, but clearly not. And I think it's more so about if it can happen now to us, who can happen to next? Because I don't think it's going to change anytime soon.
You've got a great union on the go with the Independent Workers Union. They've been very supportive and very strong behind the workers here. Other unions should, rally around and come in and support the girls, show their workers, this is what an effective union can do. The Independent Workers Union is a small but mighty union. They're working very hard at getting a positive outcome for the girls. So I think the larger union should row in behind them. They should show solidarity. They should organise around what the Independent Workers Union is doing and ask their members to get involved and show solidarity with the workers down here, because you never know. Before long it could be them that's looking for the same support.
It's mainly the union and it's mainly PVP that are coming in and supporting us and helping us out wherever we need to be. The odd politician has popped down, but it was more so at the start type thing. You know, I think a lot of people are not aware that we're still here, we're still occupying. So obviously it's about getting the message back out there that we are still here and we're here for the long haul until we obviously get answers to what's going to happen. The first day we occupied, the vice bag actually came down and we were just chatting, and he was saying he'd do the mural for the windows. So yeah, he was well on board and we're very grateful to him for the mural, and it looks very well. The mural on the windows there, like, it expresses the exact message what we're trying to get across. And again, like, obviously having people on board that will support us like that is the main thing, isn't it? Because support goes a long way, and support is what gives the motivation to keep going. Because like, it's, you know, we have families and stuff, so we've been here away from them, and you know, sometimes them being here with us as well, but we just have to keep fighting on.
That's why we need people to get behind them, because they're getting tired. It's a very long, drawn out process. An occupation is tough. We saw it with the Debenhams workers, so there's peaks and troughs. There's times of lots of action, lots of coverage, but there's lots of times where nothing happens. It's just a monotony of been on a picket, been in an occupation, and like that, that's when they need us the most, to be able to come in, show them that they're not on their own, show them that their people are there supporting them, just to try and keep their spirits up. I mean, that's what we're trying to do, and support them in whatever decision they make and however way they want to take the direction of this protest strike action.
Yeah, we're here at the forecourts. We were here with the Iceland workers today.
It was really important that Donna got to stand up and say what she had to say, have it on the record. The worker seems to be at the very bottom of the list of who needs to be looked after. It's you know, and it just highlights how, you know, you really, as a worker, you have to be organised, you have to be in the union. That's where your power is.
In the next stages of the process, workers will have a chance to have their voices heard and have a vote. But the workers' union only gets one vote, and there are hundreds of workers. If this was a really democratic process, workers would have their rights put first. We don't have a state that operates on behalf of workers.
Again, just like the Debenhams workers, we saw that everybody got paid, everybody got sorted except for the workers. And now we have a situation where they're owed tens of thousands from Iceland.
The workers, it says that there's 300,000 in cash assets in the company, and that could all just simply be paid over to transfer to the workers and get that taken care of immediately. But they're at the bottom of the pile.
The media have latched onto this. They see that there's a gross inequality within this system, and the worker comes last. And I think you know, people have said no, it's not good enough anymore. We're in a cost of living crisis, and you know, we have to get behind these workers. Look, we get behind all workers.
The next step is obviously the court case to obviously find out who the new investors will be and what the future of the company will be, if there is a future for the company. You know, it's hard to tell, like, they could turn around and say the company's gone into full liquidation. We just don't know. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's the constant unknown about what's ahead for everyone. And then for the stores that are still open, you know, like, obviously we were put on temporary layoff. Temporary layoff now is turned into permanent. So even if an investor does take over, I can't see Talbot Street reopening. Well, not as an Iceland anyway. Definitely not.
We'll support the workers in any way we possibly can, the same way we did with Debenhams. It's important that these actions are taken, because the only way we'll affect change is if we come together as a group and push that to the fore.
It's just, if you're upfront and honest about what's happening, if you had been upfront and honest about what's going on from the start, well, then it'd be a totally different story. But unfortunately, you don't seem to have that. You know, it's an untrustworthy company, as evident. Hopefully, obviously, the amount of days and the struggle we've had occupying will be worth it in the end, and everyone will get, not only in Talbot Street but in all other stores, what they're owed and what they deserve. Because to be treated with respect and dignity is a basic right, and obviously that hasn't happened.